The opinions expressed on this program are solely those of its hosts, guests, or callers, and do not necessarily represent the opinions of WTBR-FM, its management, other producers, or sponsors.
Sparkling water, lemon, osmosis, carbonated, filtered, distilled. See, in trouble.
Welcome to And So It Flows, your only show for H2O. Super psyched. We're going to have a great episode about bogs and what they are.
The abundance of water.
And the episode called For Pete's Sake, What's a Bog? You're listening to And So It Flows, your only show for H2O. I am your super waterman, ambassador for water. Super psyched to be with you. We're going to have Rene Wendell. He is here to talk about Hawley's Bog and all bogs in general and just give us an idea of what's going on. We even have a bog song later on in the show, so stay tuned for the second half of the show. We'll be talking all things a bog. Don't get bogged down. We're not going to go down that road. Down to the bog. We got some songs coming your way. We're going to start with some Everclear Santa Monica, and it might be a place where people are feeling that they need to go to Santa Monica.
I am still living with your ghost, lonely and dreaming of the West Coast. I don't want to be your downtime. I don't want to be your stupid gang with my big black boots and an old suitcase. I do believe I'll find myself a new place. I don't want to be the bad guy. I don't want to do your sleepwalk dance anymore. I just want to see some palm trees. I will try and shake away this disease. We could live beside the ocean, leave the fire behind, swim out past the breaker, Yes, I need a little water of love. I've been too long lonely and my heart feels pain. Crying out for some soothing rain. I believe taking up. Yes, I need a little water of love. Water of love, deep in the ground, but there ain't no water here to be found. Someday, baby, when the river runs free, it's gonna carry that water of love to me. There's a bird up in a tree, sitting up high, just waiting for me to die. If I don't get some water soon, I'll be dead and gone in the afternoon. Water of love, deep in the ground, but there ain't no water here to be found. Someday, baby, when the river runs free, it's gonna carry that water of love to me. Once I had a woman I could call my own. Once I had a woman, now my woman, she gone. Once there was a river, now there's a stone. You know it's evil when you're living alone. Water of love, deep in the ground, but there ain't no water here to be found. Someday, baby, when the river runs free, it's gonna carry that water of love to carry that water of love, deep in the ground, but there ain't no water here to be found. Someday, baby, when the river runs free, it's gonna carry that water of love to me.
You're listening to And So It Flows, your only show for H2O. I am your super waterman, ambassador for water. Super psyched to be with you. You're listening to us here at Pittsfield Community Radio, 89.7 WTBR-FM, here in lovely Pittsfield, in the heart of the Berkshire Hills, in the Berkshire Mountains for some, hills for others, and it's super exciting. We're also at 88.1 WSBR in Lee, and you can find us on most major podcast platforms where you get your audio podcasts. You'll find us on Apple, Amazon, Google. You'll find us YouTube. You'll find us on Podcast Addict, podcast revolution. All sorts of really great places to find us. Just look for And So It Flows podcast. And super psyched. Today we're going to have a great guest in about another 15 minutes or so. His name is Rene Wendell. He's with the Nature Conservancy. He works out of the Western Mass branch, which is based right in Sheffield. And we'll be talking about bogs. And we're going to bog ourselves down with bog lore, and we'll focus a little bit on Hawley's Bog, which I believe is in Western Mass, and it's one of the larger bogs of the region, so we'll talk a little bit about that. I think there was a recent celebration for Hawley's Bog, so we'll get into the bogs of that and have some fun. We even have a bog song for later, so stay tuned for that. Gonna have some bog life. And let's see what's up here with some news. Oh, this is interesting news. This has some connections to the local area. This is a Georgia jury orders Monsanto parent company to pay nearly $2.1 billion in Roundup weed killer lawsuit. Looks like Monsanto might be on a losing streak here. And a little bit about that. A jury in Georgia has ordered Monsanto parent Bayer. Bayer not only makes aspirin, but they made Zyklon B that killed some family members of mine in the old country before I was born. So, gotta love that Bayer, not just aspirin anymore. $2.1 billion in damages to a man who says the company's Roundup weed killer caused his cancer, according to attorneys representing the plaintiff. The verdict marks the latest in a long-running series of court battles Monsanto has faced over its Roundup herbicide. The agrochemical giant says it will appeal the verdict reached by a Georgia courtroom late Friday in efforts to overturn the decision. The penalties awarded include $65 million in compensatory damages and $2 billion in punitive damages. Law firms Arnold and Itkin LLP and Klein Inspector PC said in a statement. That marks one of the largest verdicts in a Roundup-related case. Today, plaintiff John Barnes filed his lawsuit against Monsanto in 2021, seeking damages related to his non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Arnold and Itkin attorney Kyle Finley, the lead trial lawyer on the case, said the verdict will help out his client in a better position to get the treatment he needs going forwards. And that's quite a verdict. And things are looking good. And as you know, the town of Lee and several residents within the city of Pittsfield are currently suing Monsanto and Bayer. And that is for the stuff that the General Electric Company left as a gift to our area, and we have been looking to find a way to deal with said gift. It's looking good, though. The momentum is on the side of the people. You're listening to And So It Flows, your only show for H2O. We got a little bit more water music coming your way. We got this next one, TLC, singing Waterfalls from their Crazy Sexy Cool album. Again, you're listening to And So It Flows, your only show for H2O.
Hello. gotta give and praise it because my life is 10 shades of gray. I pray all 10 fade away, seldom praise him for the 7 days. And like his promise is true, only my faith can undo the many chances I blew to bring my life to an end. Clear blue and unconditional skies have dried the tears from my eyes. No one lonely cries. My only bleeding hope is for the folk who can't cope with such an enduring pain that it keeps them in the pouring rain. Who's to blame for taking gain into your own vein? What a shame you shoot and aim for someone else's brain. You claim the insane and aim to stay in time for falling prey to crime. I say the system got you victim to your own mind. Dreams are hopeless aspirations and hopes are coming true. Believe in yourself, the rest is up to me and you.
Go chasing waterfalls. Please stick to the rivers and the lakes that you used to. I know that you're gonna have it your way or nothing at all, but I think you're moving too fast. Go chasing waterfalls. Please stick to the rivers and the lakes that you used to. I know that you're gonna have it your way. I moved across the ocean, floating inside a dream. I drank to drown my sorrows, but now that I learned to swim. It's been too long since I felt someone so distant. I wasted all my wishes, wishing we could have been. Riding on the wild waves for the rest of my days, stuck between the devil and the deep blue sea waves, searching in the maze for gods to praise. Holy water, while you're rolling on my face. Holy water, save me like the story says. Holy water, why you told me that the ocean never cries? When you take away my teardrops, every time you kiss my eyes. Holy between the mountains onto the dusty plains. I spread myself on this world, and this is what remains. Riding on the wild waves for the rest of my days, till my tears are full of solid rain. Holy water, while you're rolling on my face. Holy water, save me like the story says. I went to the water's edge, forgot I couldn't swim. I went to the water's edge, all ready to jump in. I saw the water shimmer, I heard the wind howl, I saw my own reflection, I just can't see it now. You say it's the way of the world to somehow coexist, that eventually life unfurls a path to happiness. So I whisper your little secret and repeat it under my breath. I'll save it for you in my heart in case we both forget. Oh, I wish you could wrap yourself around me. I am gripped by a loneliness. Oh, I wish you could wrap yourself around me. I'd be released in your tenderness. I'd be released in your tenderness. I went to the water's edge and saw my life eclipse. I went to the water's edge and then felt myself slip. I dreamed that I was floating, just coasting till I grew fins. I want to catch this tide back home and feel you again. Oh, I wish you could wrap yourself around me. I am gripped by a loneliness. Oh, I wish you could wrap yourself around me. I'd be released in your tenderness. Oh, I wish you could wrap yourself around me. I am gripped by a loneliness. Oh, I wish you could wrap yourself around me. I'd be released in your tenderness. I'd be released in your tenderness. I'd be released in your
You're listening to And So It Flows, your only show for H2O. I am your super waterman, ambassador for water. Some people know me as Leslie, and other people know me as some dude who has a water show. and so psyched to be with you here. We're here at WTBR-FM, Pittsfield Community Radio, 88.1 WSBR Lee, and you could find us on any major podcast platform for your information. You could also find some of the water tunes that we have on our show on our Spotify and So It Flows playlist. Just look for And So It Flows on Spotify. Super psyched to be in studio today. We have Rene Wendell. Rene, why don't you say hi to our water-loving bog lovers around the world?
Hello, water-loving bog lovers.
It's great to have you. Why don't you share with our listeners a little bit about who you are and what got you so interested in nature?
Sure. Well, thanks for having me, Leslie. This is pretty awesome. I don't know if I've ever been in a radio studio before, and this is my first podcast, so pretty psyched to be here. I'm a Berkshire born and bred and raised. My father was a trapper, a taxidermist, an entomologist, hunter, fisherman. I joke with people I really never had a choice in life. Went to BCC and MCLA, moved away in my 20s, came back to the Berkshires because I love it so much. So, a Berkshire boy, really. So, it's hard not to be in love with nature when you're surrounded by it here.
Yeah, so I would call the Nature Conservancy, the organization you work with, one of the Ivy League of nature conservancies. Why don't you share a little bit about what you guys do, how you do it?
Oh, thanks for saying that. I appreciate that. I feel the same way about us. It's a fantastic organization. I love it. We're the largest in the world. We're global. We are the biggest land trust. We have chapters in all 50 states. In Massachusetts, there's about 35, 36 of us. We're kind of lean, mean machine in Massachusetts. Incredible group of people. And the Nature Conservancy, our motto is to protect the water and land on which all life depends. So it's right into your water.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That's actually one of the reasons for the show. Can we relate to water? Can we relate to being alive? And what are the systems that we depend on that we are consistently taking for granted? And if we take it for granted, will it still provide us with what we are looking for, which is here in America? Since we are in America, this is life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So what makes you happy when you're out there being a land steward? What's your experience of when you go explore or take care of the lands that you take care of?
Yeah, so we're a big organization, but, then you boil it down and you get to the boots on the ground guy. I'm the boots on the ground guy. So I manage 8,000 acres in western Massachusetts. And it's some of it we own, some of it's through conservation restrictions, deals we make with private landowners to protect their land. I do a myriad of things. I do boundary monitoring, meeting with the neighbors. I do invasive species work. I protect rare species and monitor those. We have a few trail networks. I work on the trails. We have a hunting program for our hunters, which is big now. It's on my mind because spring turkey season's starting. Stuff like that. Cool. There's always something to do. It's a great job. It's very varied.
So your schedule has you go to different parts of that 8,000 acres and meet with the stakeholders involved, meet with, is it more, do you have an opportunity to just walk the fields, walk the land? And what's that like when you get to part of these, what I call hinterlands, when you're in a place that not only is not served by Uber or Lyft, but are you also out there where your cell phone doesn't work and you are simply there.
It's true. Yeah, we have some pretty far-flung places. We have a preserve in Florida, Mass, our Reed Brook Preserve. You get up on top of that mountain. Sometimes you're the only person around. I'm the only person I see all day on that preserve, Holly's pretty remote. It's a pretty amazing place. We have properties in Gill, where else? Middlefield, Washington, Mount Washington. We have a lot of land up there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And are there different places? Let's say you get stuck or it's late in the day. Are there like these little Nature Conservancy cabins that you have special access to because you happen to be, it's getting dark, I might as well hang out overnight? Are there such things? That No?
I wish. That would be a lot of fun. No, but
that would actually be kind of cool.
yeah.
So where is Holly, since we're talking about Holly?
Holly's north. It's not in Berkshires. It's in our neighboring county. It might as well be the Berkshires. I like to call it the Berkshires, but it's in the hill towns. You go up through Windsor, and you go up through Savoy, and you could reach it through Savoy at that point, but I go through Plainfield.
Okay.
In the center of Plainfield, take a left to Holly Bog.
Got you. And tell our listeners what exactly is a bog. I mean, there's so many jokes about bogs. There were bogs in many films. One of the major films that a bog was used as a war weapon was what was it? I think it was in a Netflix movie called The Outlaw King. There was a bog in I saw that in a film, not the Hobbit film, but one of the Lord of the Rings films.
Yeah, the
There was
moorlands.
Yeah.
The moors are a bog over in Europe. Yeah, so a bog's a wetland, and it's usually dominated by peat. Peat bogs, you've heard that. And peat is a moss. It's a sphagnum moss that likes wet conditions. Bogs are usually nutrient poor, so they don't have a lot of recycling of nutrients, so that's why the holly bog, for instance, the bog mat on holly is 30 feet thick.
So 30 feet of peat.
Of peat, yeah.
Peat is, if you took it out of the water and dried it, it's like that spongy material.
Yeah, once dried, in Europe, and I think even in the United States, you used to burn it for fuel. It was way back up right up to the Bronze Age that they were burning bricks of peat for fuel.
Wow.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, I got a good one for you. You've heard of the boogeyman?
The boogeyman.
You've heard of that, right?
Yeah, I think a lot of people have heard of the boogeyman, yeah.
So in bogs, especially in Europe, they've been, people have been living around them for a long time. As they mine this peat, they run into occasionally corpses that have been thrown into the bog.
Oh, that's what a boogeyman
Right,
is.
so they'll come out, and sometimes they have all their hair. They're perfectly preserved, mummified, because it's low oxygenated water, so nothing rots in there, or it rots very slowly. So you could have 300, 400-year-old guys coming out of this bog, and lots of times they have a rope around their neck and their hands and stuff. It was a place.
Wow.
So back then it would say, the boggy man will get you.
Oh, the boggy man, boogeyman, bogeyman.
That's where that comes from.
Boggy man.
I thought you might like that.
Oh, that's actually kind of cool. That's actually kind of cool. So I guess if people are into life extension by way of drowning, they can just preserve themselves in a bog.
And I wouldn't be surprised if somebody has thought of that already, Leslie.
Who knows? Who knows? That's actually kind of cool. So let's say you're by the bog and you see this peat. The peat, is that rising to the surface, or is it just beneath the water?
Yeah, so if you went up for a hike at our holly bog,
Okay.
we have a trail, and there's a boardwalk, and the boardwalk goes out onto the bog mat, and it rests on top of the bog mat. You can imagine 30 feet of something. It's pretty solid, You could step on it and your feet would get wet, but you're not going to fall through it. Yeah, it's right to the surface. It looks green when it's on the surface because it's alive. It's photosynthesizing like any other type of plant would.
Yeah.
Would be. Yeah, it's a pretty cool place.
And how big is Hawley's Bog? How many square feet, miles, square?
So the mat itself, it's 4 acres of sphagnum moss. And there's a little kind of like a blowhole type of thing in the middle, like a little open water. And around the edges, there's 70 acres that the Nature Conservancy and the 5 college consortium protect.
Wow. That's really... Now, is there life other than the peat inside? Are there fishes, snakes, frogs, any other types of animal life?
Yeah, absolutely. What a great topic to talk about. I mean, let's acknowledge, hey, it's Earth Day, right?
It is.
Happy Earth Day.
And that includes Bogs.
I love talking about animals on Earth Day. So, yeah, it's a really amazing ecosystem. You can imagine it's a kind of rare ecosystem. There's not a ton of it in New England. This is one of the best unspoiled New England bogs we have. Craziest stuff out there is there's a lot of carnivorous plants. So
wow.
Yeah, so plants, can imagine if you have a low nutrient system, plants have to find a way to get the nutrients they need. So there's crazy plants called pitcher plants that are just like a pitcher of water, and then they have a digestive juice inside that water, and the fly gets in there, and then it absorbs the nutrients from that fly.
Oh, that's
so there's
both
pitcher plants.
Interesting and gross. Yeah.
There's sundews. Yeah, this one's even grosser. You're gonna love it. So there's sundews. Take your hand, right? You got a hand. The sundew's got like a spatulate leaf, and on the end of the fingers they have a little globule of digestive juice. So a fly or a midge or a gnat lands on top of that, and the plant slowly closes around it, and it gets all sticky. It can't get away. And then the sundew just absorbs those nutrients from the fly.
Okay.
I want one more. I got one more. All right.
Okay, go for it.
And you got the bladderwort. All right. So bladderwort's an underwater plant. All right. So the bladderwort.
Bladder, BLADDERWORT.
Yep,
bladderwort.
Right. I think we have one. I think we might even have 2 species.
Is that any relation to St. John's wort?
No, this one's underwater. So this is more like the weeds you have up at Pontoons River and Noda Lake. Right?
Okay, gotcha.
But what this plant has is they have these little kind of purses, little pocketbook things, little cups that are closed, right? So an underwater animal like a Daphnia or something that small gets in close to it, the plant senses it, and it opens up that purse, boom, like that, and then the water gushes in, and then it swallows the insect, and then it absorbs the insect that way.
Are any of these, because when I was a kid, there was something really cool besides the comic books, was you would get either sea monkeys,
yep,
or a Venus flytrap.
Yeah.
So a Venus flytrap, is that in the same family of any of these things that we just discussed?
I don't know if it's in the same family. I'm gonna give you your first. I don't know. It is a carnivorous plant, but that's from the south, so we don't have those at Holly Bog.
Gotcha.
But I had one of those when I was a kid. Pretty wild.
Yeah, it is kind of. So it's kind of like the plants are alive. Not just are they alive, but they're gonna, basically suck the juice from the inside of you if you're a fly, or if you're they're. It's actually kind of interesting to see how plants survive in that space. Yeah.
If I had thought about it, I could have told you to play the Little Shop of Horrors theme song for the music selection early on.
Oh, yeah.
That would have been a good one.
Yeah, that always does remind me of that. So, okay, are you, of these 8,000 acres, are there additional projects that are coming that are going to add to that 8,000 acres?
Yeah, we're always looking. You know, we do a lot of partner stuff with agencies. We're partnering with Division of Fisheries and Wildlife on a project. Always looking for smaller land trusts. We help them out on occasion. Helping the trustees of reservations on a project. You know, we're doing a lot of nice stuff. Yeah, the work continues.
Are there trainings for other smaller organizations? Let's say there's a small town that wants to build its own conservancy. Do you train them on how to operate?
Not that I know of. You know, most towns have their act together. They don't need us for that. But we do have some skill sets that, you know, we love to help out. We help with maps. We have a land and waters team that's helping some municipalities with culvert replacements for resiliency and dam removals and stuff like that. So, I mean, we're always happy to help.
How about recovery? Let's say there is a wetland or some other conservation breakdown, like a breakdown around what was done to it recently in the last, couple of decades or more. Do you ever come in and do reclamation work or any of your...
Two of our preserves, we did some rewilding. So our Headwaters Trail will be opening up in our Coles Brook Preserve, which is in Middlefield in Washington. And on that property, there was a house that was built on a half-a-mile driveway right on the banks of Coles Brook. And we went back and forth. We're like, wow, you know, we don't want to tear it down. Somebody could live there, but, you know, it's better if it goes back to nature. So we took that house down. And then there was a dilapidated house in the same preserve. We took that down. And then in Egremont, in the town's watershed land, there was like this 20-year deal we did with the town of Egremont, the Egremont Land Trust, where we took a cabin down up there that was built on a half-a-mile driveway within the perimeter right next to, you know, the town's watershed. So the town and us partnered on that 20 years ago, and the family had the right to live there and vacation. There was a vacation cabin for 20 years, and so everybody won on that one.
Wow. Yeah. And we'll circle back in just a second to Holly's Bog, because I really want to focus on that for a little while. For those who are just tuning in, you are listening to And So It Flows, your only show for H2O. I am your super waterman, ambassador for water, having a conversation with Rene Wendell of the Nature Conservancy, the Western Mass portion of that. And we're going to get back into what is this Holly's Bog. What was this? There was a celebration recently of Holly's Bog. What was... or something.
We kind of jumped in into some other topics. But
I know.
Yeah. So Holly Bog, it's an awesome place. It's run by the Nature Conservancy. Most of the bog is run by the is owned by the 5 colleges consortium. That's like Amherst, Mount Holyoke, Smith, UMass, and Hampshire College. Right, they have a consortium, and they do a lot of living labs out there. A lot of scientific research. They go out there and learn. And then the Nature Conservancy purchased the adjoining property, so the whole 4-acre bog mat is protected by our 2 organizations. But it's not just us. Like, if right next to us, there's the 7,800-acre Kenneth Dubuque State Forest that the Department of Conservation and Recreation own. Right next to that is this amazing 1700s town common where the town of Holly used to exist. Was the middle there, in the middle of nowhere. You'll go up there and you'll be like, there were 2 taverns here. You know, there was a church, there was a thriving community, but back in the day, it was an old carriage road that would eventually take you to Plainfield and then up to the Albany Road. And then the town of Holly. They take care of the parking lot so people have access. It's this amazing partnership. The 50th celebration was to get all these partners together and celebrate 50 years of this being a national natural landmark.
Wow. So the Holly Bog,
Yep.
is a national natural location, like
landmark.
a
Yes, sir.
landmark.
It's a designation by the National Park Service that just says, listen, this is an important place with exceptional qualities. They have historic landmarks too. The other national one we have, natural landmark, is Bartholomew's Cobble in Sheffield is one. It's just to highlight these really special places within our communities that need protection and people should visit.
Yeah. Are there any boogeymen inside Holly's Bog?
I've never had a creepy feeling out there. It's always been cool.
That's so cool. You're listening to And So It Flows, your only show for H2O. We have about 4 more minutes, so let's get into this. Okay, so if for some reason this bog was not there, what would we be missing? What is that bog bringing that if it wasn't there? Like, what is it bringing to the world?
Okay, so you're not asking specifically Holly Bog. Well, Holly Bog is our most visited property that we have, and it's a partnership with the schools. Students.
No, but
would be missing out.
the
But Bogs as
Bogs as a
general.
whole. Yeah, Bogs in general.
The earth would go on, but, people ask me that all the time, like, we're losing our bats, we're losing songbirds, we're losing a lot of things. It's like a death by 1,000 cuts. Our environment's like a Jenga game. You can take one piece out, you can take a nest piece out, but will it collapse eventually? Might. Bogs are incredibly amazing places. They soak up so much water. So when you think about flooding and the amount of storage of water in a bog is absolutely incredible. It's a sponge. It filters. Dirty water coming into a bog gets filtered out and leaves via groundwater clean. These natural ecosystems, these natural solutions to the problems we face. It's at our own peril if we just ignore them.
Yeah, for sure. It's part of what a friend of mine over in India, his name is Rajendra Singh. He's known as the Waterman of India.
Cool.
And he actually studies what's called hydromorphology. Mm-hmm. And basically that's like, how does water work? Mm-hmm. So bogs are part of that. Yeah. Filters, place for life, place for regeneration.
Carbon storage. I forgot that one. There's a huge amount. That 30 feet of peat, huge amount of carbon storage.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. So, the Nature Conservancy. Somebody is interested. They have a bog in their backyard and they want to add it to another bog in the area. What do they do? How do they participate with you guys?
Yeah, so in Massachusetts, especially in the Berkshires, we're incredibly lucky. If you got a nice chunk of land and you want to protect it, you could go through us, you could go to the Audubon Society, the Trustees of Reservations, Berkshire Natural Resources Council. We have a lot of people in Berkshire County that care about the land. Western Mass. I love living here. Like, there's just so many people that get it.
Yeah.
And local land trusts, oh my God, almost every little town in the Berkshires has a local land trust. So, reach out to me, to someone, and you might be, I'm sure we get you to the right person that would be interested.
I love your way. It's not like, come to me, you have to come to me. You gotta, there's, you're allowing for the abundance of nature conservancies.
A rising tide lifts all boats.
For sure.
Look at that, another water reference.
That's it. That's it. I'm sticking with the boogeyman. I think that's a pretty cool one too. For those of you who are just tuning in, we had a great conversation with Rene Wendell from the Nature Conservancy, one of the best land conservancies in the region and around the country. Super psyched that you were with us today. Thanks so much. And once it goes up, we'll share it with you. And we got some more tunes coming your way. We were listening before to Cyndi Lauper's Water's Edge, and we got our Bogs song, Perfect amount of time on it. This is called Rattlin Bog by the Irish Descendants. You're listening to And So It Flows, your only show for H2O.
Ho, ho, the Rattlin Bog, the bog down in the valley, oh. Rear bog, the Rattlin Bog, the bog down in the valley, oh. Well, in the bog there was a hole, a rear hole, a rattling hole in the bog down in the valley, oh. Ho, ho, the Rattlin Bog, the bog down in the valley, oh. Rear bog, the Rattlin Bog, the bog down in the valley, oh. Well, in the hole there was a tree, a rare tree, a rattling tree in the hole, in the hole, in the bog down in the valley, oh. Ho, ho, the Rattlin Bog, the bog down in the valley, oh. Rear bog, the Rattlin Bog, the bog down in the valley, oh. On the tree there was a branch, a rare branch, a rattling branch in the tree, in the hole, in the hole, in the bog down in the valley, oh. Ho, ho, the Rattlin Bog, the bog down in the valley, oh. Rear bog, the Rattlin Bog, the bog down in the valley, oh. On the branch there was a limb, a rare limb, a rattling limb on the branch, in the tree, in the hole, in the bog down in the valley, oh. Ho, ho, the Rattlin Bog, the bog down in the valley, oh. Rear bog, the Rattlin Bog, the bog down in the valley, oh. Well, on the limb there was a nest, a rare nest, a rattling nest on a limb, on the branch, in the tree, in the hole, in the bog down in the valley, oh. Ho, ho, the Rattlin Bog, the bog down in the valley, oh. Rear bog, the Rattlin Bog, the bog down in the valley, oh. In the nest there was a bird, a rare bird, a rattling bird in the nest, on a limb, on the branch, in the tree, in the hole, in the bog down in the valley, oh. Ho, ho, the Rattlin Bog, the bog down in the valley, oh. Rear bog, the Rattlin Bog, the bog down in the valley, oh. In the bird there was an egg, a rare egg, a rattling egg, the bird, the nest, limb, the branch, tree, in the hole, the bog down in the valley, oh. Ho, ho, the Rattlin Bog, bog down in the valley, oh. Rear bog, the Rattlin Bog, bog down in the valley, oh. In the egg there was a bird, a rare bird, a rattling bird, the egg, the bird, the nest, limb, the branch, tree, in the hole, the bog down in the valley, oh. Ho, ho, the Rattlin Bog, bog down in the valley, oh. Rear bog, the Rattlin Bog, bog down in the valley, oh. On the bird there was a feather, rare feather, rattle feather, bird, the egg, the bird, nest, limb, the branch, tree, in the hole, the bog down in the valley, oh. Ho, ho, the Rattlin Bog, bog down in the valley, oh. Rear bog, Rattlin Bog, bog down in the valley, oh. On the feather there was a worm, a rare worm, rattling worm, feather, bird, the egg, the bird, nest, limb, branch, tree, in the hole, the bog down in the valley, oh. Ho, ho, the Rattlin Bog, bog down in the valley, oh. Rear bog, Rattlin Bog, bog down in the valley, oh. On the worm there was a hare, rattling hare, worm, feather, bird, the egg, the bird, nest, limb, branch, tree, in the hole, the bog down in the valley, oh. Ho, ho, the Rattlin Bog, bog down in the valley, oh. Rear bog, Rattlin Bog, bog down in the valley, oh. On the here there was a louse, rare louse, rattling louse, here, and worm, feather, bird, the egg, the bird, nest, limb, branch, tree, in the hole, the bog down in the valley, oh. Ho, ho, the Rattlin Bog, bog down in the valley, oh. Rear bog, Rattlin Bog, bog down in the valley, oh. On the louse was to take a rear, take a rattle, take louse, here, and worm, feather, bird, the egg, the bird, nest, limb, branch, tree, in the hole, the bog down in the valley, oh. Ho, ho, the Rattlin Bog, bog down in the valley, oh. Rear bog, Rattlin Bog, bog down in the valley, oh. On the take the rash, rear, rash, take louse, here, and worm, feather, bird, the egg, the bird, nest, limb, branch, tree, in the hole, the bog down in the valley, oh. Ho, ho, the Rattlin Bog, bog down in the valley, oh. Rear bog, Rattlin Bog, bog down in the valley, oh. Ho, ho, the Rattlin Bog, bog down in the valley, oh. Rear bog, the Rattlin Bog, the bog down in the valley, oh.
You're listening to And So It Flows, your only show for H2O. Super psyched to be with you. This is your Super Waterman Ambassador for Water. You want to check us out on all your major podcast platforms. You also want to tell your friends and share about the podcast, share about this show. If you're just driving through and you're on Route 7 and you're saying, wow, what is this song? A water song. What is this show? A show about water from Pittsfield, because Pittsfield deserves a water show, just like so many other places around the country. Super psyched to bring water culture your way here at 89.7 WTBR-FM Pittsfield Community Radio and 88.1 WSBR in Lee. And it's been great to be with you. And love your water.
Lemon fizzy water, sparkling water, lemon, osmosis, carbonated, filtered, distilled. See, in trouble. In the abundance of water, the food will get thirsty.